Hello and welcome to Press the Action Button. Newman here and... God, I completely forgot how to do the intro. Hello, welcome to Press the Action Button, where two nerds talk about video games. My name is Newman.
And my name is Yusuf.
Yes, and we're very, very happy to be back with you again. Super chuffed on the Mario video. People seem to have enjoyed it, so thank you so much for that. But more than excited to be back together in a room together, I have to say. I've missed you. It's been so much gaming stuff that has been going on that I haven't been able to talk to you about, so I'm very happy that we're here.
I have a bone to pick with you straight away on your Mario video. He's flying solo and did quite well. People liked it. I liked it too. It was very well done. I didn't have COVID.
Am I going to say your wife had COVID and you were distancing? You know, it doesn't work in a video. You can't go on for that length of time.
It doesn't work, and then people were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you had COVID." They were messaging me about it.
Were they? Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, yeah, I didn't have COVID, but we did miss doing a video in person. But Newman decided to go. He's like, I was not going to let you down. Not going to let our lovely fans down. And
Couldn't do it.
On his own, he was going to pull himself up and do a wonderful little, I don't know, love letter to Mario 64.
I think so. Yeah, for me.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah, it was, and yeah, I did. I mean, it wasn't that hard to do, to be honest. I mean, I captured the.
It was pretty good too.
It's pretty great. Yeah, the most views our videos we've ever gotten, I think. So won't draw a parallel there, but
Unbelievable.
No, it was good, and I used the El Gato capture card and my lovely retro tink as well to capture it. So it's easier than I thought it would be, because we've only been really capturing PlayStation 5 footage with built-in capture. So it was it wasn't hard. So we can now bring you footage from all types of retro consoles, which is what I want to be doing anyway. So
also looking forward to maybe doing some with the Switch. There's a couple of Switch games I'd like to play.
Not me.
No, not you, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. But I'm looking forward to playing it on and being able to show it to everybody. But also N64, that would be good. That's
best console ever.
I mean, we started, I don't know, 2-3 consoles before that in our gaming lives, but I think the N64 was really the point where we're like, wow, okay, this is a whole subculture.
Great. Yeah, absolutely great. And I think there's only like 270 cartridges for it.
As in games?
In the Euro market. So it's not the hardest console to collect everything for. And I've been trying to do it. Oh, Yusuf, I can't tell you how much this retro game stuff has been pissing me off.
Oh, the price of them?
Yeah. I'm going to do a video on this, I think, and just to let people know how difficult buying retro games is now. Everyone wants top dollar, and I mean like ridiculous top dollar. People are like, we have a couple of options here in Ireland. We've got like Done Deal, adverts, and eBay. First of all, like 90% of our stuff would have come from the UK, which is completely destroyed now because of Brexit. Like you don't know how much you're going to have to pay when it actually arrives. You're going to have to pay VAT. Sometimes you have to pay VAT from both countries. And then the sellers are personal people. They're not like businesses half the time. They don't know how to send it correctly. So then you're stuck with German or Austrian or French. They use 2-pin plugs. Now that's fine. Yeah. Right? But like they're also the prices.
If you get a console, you don't need to get an adapter for it, and
Yeah, it's not a big deal. But like it's just annoying. And like then adverts, people are asking for insane money. Like I bought a GameCube console from Germany. Doesn't work. Got here, like it would load the disc maybe once out of 12 times. Yeah. And so I have to send it back. Right. And it still cost me like €120 for a GameCube. Like Sex are selling it for €145.
Where's our old GameCube?
I don't know, I've been looking for it.
Might be in the attic.
I don't think it is. I've looked in the attic.
Right, I don't know what else.
Anyway. So then you've got Done Deal, and people just asking for insane money. Yeah. Insane money. I'm like, where are you getting these prices for? I saw a person ask €35 for Extreme G, which is €6 on Sex.
Because you're getting people who they don't give a shite, and what they're doing is they're just taking a picture of stuff that they've got in an old bedroom, and they're going, I'll put this up as long as it's worth my while. I'm not arse with it. Otherwise, it's just sitting in a storeroom. Like, what you want is somebody who's like gone to a car boot and is there with all their stuff in the back going, I'm here to get rid of it. And then you go, right, well then they'll pay you for it.
You can't get that now anywhere because everyone's like looking online and they...
Yeah.
Because of that feckin' bastards. I better not say that.
Explain this to the people if they don't remember.
Okay, let's rewind that. Maybe blur out the name of the company I said there in case they sue us. But there's been this company who's been grading games and they've been selling them. Like, I think Mario 64, a sealed version, sold for $1 million there. And like, what's happening is, allegedly, it's like their investment, basically they have these people who are working as investment funds, they're buying it up to have historic prices on what it's sold for, to make people think that it is actually worth that. And like, it's just like people who don't know anything about games are just asking for insane money for... Well, I have you there actually. Let me show you this. I ask you what you think of this, right?
Alright, go take a look.
This is a sealed... You can just stick this picture in when we're doing it later.
Yeah.
This is a sealed copy of Super Smash Bros. For the N64.
Yeah.
Have you seen the price?
No.
What do you think it's worth?
Sealed, like never opened?
Yeah, factory sealed.
I don't know, based off you were saying that, complaining about them, I'm going to guess it's 100,000 quid.
100? So you have to guess less than that.
Well, you said...
Then when I have to give you the number, you have to be like, oh my god.
You said Mario 64 was $1 million quid.
Yeah, but that was... That was
what?
The other place.
Alright.
$6,500.
Wow.
Who's gonna pay $6,500
They're doing it as...
for Smash Brothers? It's not even an old game. It wasn't like... It's not even iconic like Mario 64 was.
Oh, it's pretty iconic.
It's not half as much as...
It's not Mario 64 iconic, but it is. It's like a percentage of the price of...
That's outrageous.
It is.
But this isn't at auction. This is in a retail shop.
It is mad. Like, the thing is, and this thing has kind of happened a lot, and if like for like investment funds, it's happened a lot with like property in certain places. They would go and they buy it, they put it up for a lot of money, so that they can say it costs as much. But another thing they're doing, especially if you start getting like investment funds involved, is they buy it just so they can say that their costs are higher, and then they sell it to each other. They move it to each other. Yeah,
there's always like creative accounting going on somewhere.
The same thing happened with lots of art, kind of in when people were buying old Renaissance art. They were selling these mad prices for it.
Yeah.
Because they were going, if I leave money to a family member or something, they go, well, the government are going to want a percentage of that through some sort of inheritance tax, wherever it is in the world. So what people would do is they buy pictures, right? And then they'd go, oh, it's like a gifted thing. And then later on they could go and then like cash in or sell it in for somebody else. And they would go, oh, now I get the money back for it without having to pay inheritance on it.
Yeah.
Because you don't pay the same amount on these things that are passed down. They're like, oh, it's the property. I leave all my belongings to one person, and it's just a way of moving the money around without having to declare it really.
Yeah.
And you're saying the value of it by going, it's this expensive because if I also say I spent that much, then you're gonna take less off me. So and it happens at a lot of collector stuff. People are going, if I put this money anywhere else, somebody's going to want it. So I'm going to spend it so it looks like I have less of it, but I also get to create the value of something by spending that much on it.
I'll tell you what it is. If it's bullshit is what it is. And I didn't want gaming to get corrupted by this kind of bullshit, but it seems to have. So shame on you, unscrupulous scalpers. Alright.
Yeah.
Actually, while I was researching that, I found something very interesting. I found out that my PlayStation 4 is worth more than a new PlayStation 5.
What? PlayStation 4?
Yeah.
What's specific about yours?
Have a guess.
Did you buy it from somewhere
No,
outside of
it's a
Ireland?
normal PlayStation 4. It's what's on it. It's a game that's on it.
Oh, that's like on the drive for some really old retro game they don't sell anymore.
Nope, it's not retro.
Oh, I have no idea.
It's PT.
Oh, this is the... it was Hideo Kojima, wasn't it? His original trailer for Silent Hill.
Yeah, apparently
unreleased.
Because they removed it from the store, now you can't get it anymore. Consoles with it are selling for more than PlayStation 5's new.
Wow, that's mental.
Yeah.
How much is it selling for?
It was like €500 or something like that.
Right, wow.
So
that's mad.
Yeah, so I might sell it, or I might just keep it. I don't know.
It's a fun game. I've never actually played it. I've seen people play it.
It's a weird game.
It's meant to be weird.
Fun.
It's scary though.
It is scary. Anything standing at the end of a hall is scary.
Yeah.
But speaking of scary, I got Resident Evil 4 delivered yesterday.
Oh wow, the new remake.
Yeah.
It looks fantastic.
It looks amazing, and everyone's been giving it like 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, the original's brilliant.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So I haven't played it much now. I've only just literally started it because I was like, I got an hour, the kids were put to bed and I was like, oh yes, like I've got an hour now, you know. And then of course I put it on, it was like 66 gigs required to download. I was like, for fuck's sake. Like, you know, that doesn't happen with Nintendo 64, guys, I'm just saying. But so I managed to get 20 minutes in.
Okay, I mean that's good. At least you got to do the initial opening village scene.
Yeah, no, not really. They've changed it, like it's really different.
Right,
From what I remember, I haven't played it in a long time, but it was like, you know, the cop at the start goes missing and you have to find him and say...
Oh, it is a little bit different.
Yeah,
it is. They did change up some
It
things.
is, which is nice because I really don't know what to expect, and
Yeah.
it's pretty scary so far. So
Good.
I'm delighted, but yeah.
Sometimes they just like they did it with Resi 2. I don't know what to make of Capcom, because sometimes like they do not give a shit and they're cashing in and they're like, screw you, give us as much money as possible, we're not even going to bother finishing some of these games. And then sometimes they're like, so we've taken this thing and completely done more than we could have ever needed to do, completely redesigned it, and it's fantastic. I'm really looking forward to that because I love the second the remake of Resident Evil. I love it.
No, it was fantastic, and but that is Capcom, because 3 was terrible. So like 2 was amazing, 3 was terrible, 4 looks great, and it's gotten great scores. So really, and I love Leon. He's great. I think I've been intentionally shooting enemies in their legs so he could do the
run and do a kick that
the suplex as well.
I love it.
Brilliant.
That's the thing, is that like, you know, it started off the original one being scary, but also mad. Like the Spencer Mansion is a mental place.
Yeah, it's great.
You know, I remember seeing something where in order to get like the map of from the first Resident Evil game to get it to carry around, I think I don't know if this is the original or one of the remakes. There's multiple remakes for that game.
Yeah.
And it's you need to get like a bit of wood and you need to like light the fireplace, and then you need to stick it above the fireplace and it'll burn the map layout onto the bit of wood. And it's just like, who set up the inverse of layout of their house that would heat up and they have to carry around a smouldering piece of wood as a map? It's like, you know, you're not really thinking about it, but when you dig into it, that game is crazy. And I love just as they went on and on, they're like, yeah, it's just crazy fun, let's just have a laugh.
It doesn't need to make sense, really.
No, it's a bit zombies, although not even really very much about zombies for the last while.
No, it's fantastic series, so
good.
Very much looking forward to it. But how have you been? What's it been?
I've been very busy. It's been a long time. So I was in Iceland.
Yeah.
And I love that. That was really nice.
The thing that I found funny about Iceland is that Yusuf travelled to Iceland. The weekend he goes, the Northern Lights are viewable from Ireland.
The first, in the way they were visible, the first time in 20 years.
It was a classic.
But it was gorgeous. It was a great place.
Yeah.
It was really lovely. I would highly recommend to go.
Yeah.
But for gaming news things, I updated my PS Plus thing to the highest tier one.
So did I.
Did you?
It's on discount.
Yeah, it was a massive discount.
Great.
I have like 300 days left of it, and then they were going, look, we'll just give you the premium for like €30. And I was like, yeah, because I'm going to get like one game immediately, and then that's going to bring me back up to what I should be.
Yeah.
So,
But the other thing I thought about was like, I see how many games I play. Like, we're doing God of War this episode, we should say.
Oh yeah, you'll
like,
see it in the title.
how long it took me to finish that game.
Yeah.
You know, like, I think most people are definitely not going to get value out of that many games in the collection, unless they literally unless they were like me 25 years ago, you know, and they're just playing games all the time.
But God of War is that was a particularly long game. Like, I've since gotten some games that were long and they were good and I've really enjoyed them. And also once because it's free, you just want to tip your toe in and see what it's like.
Yeah.
Actually, because I got the latest Tekken. Is it 7? Is Tekken 8 the one that's coming out? Yeah, 7 was the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm the only person in the world who... I'm not the only person, because I've seen lots of other people annoyed, but, you know, of people who review games who not say that, like, what has happened to fighting games? Why are they just these, like, pathetic money-grabbing things now? It's a joke. Like,
it is.
There's a bit of a story mode thing, which is a bit funny and mad. Tekken is a bit like that, so okay. But like, loads of characters aren't in it. There's not really an arcade mode. You play a few short levels in it.
Yeah.
And then you can do like an individual story mode for each character, where you play one fight.
it feels like the PlayStation is literally going to open up and say, put in a coin to
Yeah.
be playing.
Yeah.
You know, like it feels like it's not built for home entertainment. Like
No.
it's like trying to get money out of you.
But it's just like I know I didn't technically pay directly for this game, but I paid for like
Yeah.
you know, the subscription thing to get it. And if I'd have bought it, it would have still been the same thing. There's
Yeah.
loads of games you can't play on it, and they also changed, like if you hold down like R1, there's like these shortcuts to do these big combo moves and stuff
they
as
mixed
well.
up a lot of the
Yeah.
attacks and stuff.
Yeah, and it's like Rage. It's called Rage Art, where it's like if you get to the end of your life, at the end you just have one move. It takes like 40% of the enemies'
Yeah.
health, and it's just like,
Alright, okay.
all right, okay, this isn't. I used to love those games so much, and it just didn't feel. And oh my god, I was playing it. It was so fucking nice. Akuma is in this game. Akuma from Street Fighter fame, and there's like a bit where you have to fight him a couple of times. You have to fight like a devil Kazuya in it as well, and the game just decides sometimes when they're just going to be things are going to be unblockable, and they're just going to keep moving through a hit because they're meant to be like, oh, it's a special last boss, but it's just the most unfair, unbalanced thing.
Yeah.
Because you know, like when you're Paul and you hit something, they go flying across the thing.
Yeah.
You do that, because he was like, "Nope, I'm just gonna hit you this time.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna
alright.
keep on moving
No,
forward."
bullshit.
Yeah, and you're
Okay.
like, none of the other like 20 fights up to this point have been anything like this. And now
Okay.
the last fight, you're like, "Yeah, it's just he's harder now."
Okay.
Because, you know, not because he's faster or stronger, just he's just not gonna react when you hit him. So it's just like that kind of shit is like, oh, come on, like these games are great.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what can you say? Hopefully the new one will be good. But
I
it
don't-
probably won't.
I don't trust fighting games anymore.
Yeah, no, neither do
No, I don't trust them. Like, and it's quite annoying because like they were great fun.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah.
100%.
But I think probably co-op they're still great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd like to do that.
Definitely.
That'd be quite good. I've got a couple other games I've played on, but I don't want to say them yet because maybe I'll do a bit more of an in-depth review. But
Do.
I'm really enjoying the premium. You?
Yes. But I haven't used it. I
Yeah.
really haven't used it because I've been playing God of War and I've been now have Resident Evil 4 coming and I've been like buying up loads of retro games.
Yeah.
I've kind
Okay.
of gone into the retro thing a bit more recently.
That's good.
There's a really strong and nice like retro community on Twitter, I have to say. Like really nice people, and they're always showing off though, I have to say. Look what I got, look what I got, look what I got. I'm like, yeah.
Surely that's the point of it.
Is it?
I bought because
Well, I can't get them, that's the problem.
Why would somebody have a retro channel set up or like a retro account which you're following them because they do retro stuff and you don't want them to show you the
Maybe
retro
I'm
things
just
they have?
annoyed because when I'm showing off my games, no one comments. So
Yeah, you just set up the Twitter.
yeah.
Follow us at Press the Action Button Twitter.
No, it's not.
PTAB?
It's at PTA button.
PTA button.
Yeah, PTAB was taken.
Alright, okay. Fine. Follow us at that and you can see Newman talk about games.
Yes, retro games mostly.
So we're saying it's a God of War episode. Do you want to get into it?
Do we have news and stuff?
Oh shit.
I got loads of news.
Let's go.
Okay, so let me see. This might be a bit of a long episode, Yusuf, but then again, we don't have that much footage of what you call it to do.
God of War.
God of War. Okay, so look, I'm going to run through the news very quickly, if I may.
No.
Okay, story number 1. Yuji Naka. Do you know who he is, Yusuf? Have you heard about this? Have you seen this?
What's his full name?
Yuji Naka.
Oh, alright, that's his first name and surname.
Sorry, Yuki Naka.
Okay.
Do you know what? They've spelt it wrong in the title. They spelled it differently in the title and the body.
Ooh.
NintendoLife.com.
I don't want to go on a rant straight away, but as someone with a slightly not very common name for where we are, nothing makes me more pissed off when I'm sending somebody an email and they just spell my name wrong when they were writing back to me. It's like, it's in the email address, you copied in there.
People are terrible for names here.
It's in the signature.
I used to work at a call centre when I was really young, and every time I said, hello, it's Newman. Eamon, is it? They're like, no, Newman. Eamon, Newman. Eamon. So anyway,
Yeah.
Yuki Naka, do you know who he is?
No.
The former head of Sonic Team
Ooh.
is now standing trial at the Tokyo District Court over charges of insider trading
Ooh.
after an investigation at Square Enix. So he apparently was buying up some stocks and then selling them at opportune times. So
Really?
he's brought great shame on the nation of Japan. So we'll follow that story.
That's a bit mad. He's only quite high up, isn't he?
Yeah, well, he was the head of Team Sonic Team,
I guess, look.
former head.
even when people are high up and get a lot of money, they still do. They're the people who tend to do these insider trading things, aren't they?
It's in the human heart, Yusuf. It's in the human heart.
Greed.
Yep. All right. Story number 2. I like this story. Long hated. Any story which starts with long hated is something that I really, really love. Long hated Steve from Minecraft is being banned in competitive Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah. Some of the rules of what happens in like competitive fighting games that people are playing. And I guess they're really big money, and these people are esports. They are athletes, in that sense. So it is quite a big deal, very competitive. But sometimes people are like, oh, they did that. I can't believe it. Oh, that's a real low class move. I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah. That's it's the whole thing about also the blocking of that Street Fighter game where. The people who know it are like, oh my god, he's blocked every move. And like,
the Chun-Li.
Everyone else is like, oh, it's just held back.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Steve from Minecraft was added recently, in October 2020.
Yeah.
And he's apparently been overpowered and broken. And there's been a recent glitch where he can just basically destroy everyone. So he's been banned from some professional competitive Smash Brothers. So
is that until they fix the glitch? Is that because of the glitch, or just in general?
No, I think in general he's been banned. People have been complaining about him along, but apparently this glitch really did make them push him from overpowered to completely unfair. So maybe they'll fix the glitch. I'm not sure, but anyway, I just as I say, anything with long hated Steve is just a story I'm definitely going to read. So anyway, last story. Over $30 million worth of Funkos are headed to the landfill.
God.
So apparently they spent millions, $246 million of inventory that was unsold. So they've decided that instead of trying to sell it, they're going to just dump it, allegedly, which caused their stock to tank. Now here's the thing, who actually buys Funko?
I hate Funko.
They're horrible. They don't look nice. They're they're not particularly cute. They're just. I mean,
it's just because they cover so much stuff. They do bits from films and here is not, and it's not film, but here's Spike from Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, Funko. And everyone knows that, or everyone knows someone.
Yeah, and there's something they like Buffy, so I'll get this thing. But it's just there's no actual personality of the individual thing in it. It's just this blankest character, and then let's just stick it's an emoji version of somebody. It's just
terrible.
Also, it's really horrible that instead of selling it for cheaper, they would rather dump them. But that's really common.
Did
you hear about the Chilean landfills?
No, I heard about the ET ones. Anyway, go on.
No, well, the Chilean, it's full of clothes from H&M and Rabanne and Zara. Just billions and billions of articles of clothing.
That's terrible.
Just they can't sell them, so
don't depress me. So.
Yeah.
Funko Pop reminds me of say for example, you get a Secret Santa at work. And there's this nerdy guy who no one really talks to.
You?
But he has a Star Trek pen or something. And the person's like, oh, that guy likes Star Trek. I'll get him something, and they're looking around. They only have €15 to spend, and then they go and pick up a Funko Pop Star Trek. He'd love that.
Yeah.
He'd love that.
I think, but it's strange. You're against that, but I think you're a really big fan of the duck thing, because you've got the Metal Gear Solid duck. Why is that acceptable?
Where is he? Is he up there?
There he is.
Bring him down. Show the people, Yusuf. Wave to the people. Blow them kisses.
So why is this okay?
Because he actually looks like the real soldier. The Funko Pops look disgraceful, and he has an exclamation mark over his head that makes him beautiful. You
know what I mean? I'm back on board. The little fox badge on it.
Exactly.
That's fantastic.
Huh? What was that noise? So that's my story. But look, Yusuf, I as always I tend to try to what's the word I'm looking for? Hijack the pod.
Yes.
And I've decided that I'm going to do it again today.
Why?
Because I feel like it. No, sorry, I'm looking for something here. Where am I? Go through pictures. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so I've come up with a new section for the show. It's called Newman's Retro Rewind.
Right.
And you have to guess what retro games these are.
Okay, I'm into this.
Alright?
Yeah.
I was going to call it Retro Regurgitation, but I thought that probably wasn't the best title.
Retro Resurgence?
That's a good one. If we can get 3 hours coming together, that would be ideal, to be honest.
Rapid retro resurgence. Go, go, go.
Okay, good one. Okay, first of all, I want to ask you, Yusuf, this is a character in a new game. Who's that?
Paul Phoenix.
Yes, you got it right. Okay, fine. Let's skip that one.
He put his hair down in Tekken 5, I think. That's the first time you're like, oh wow, he looks really different.
Okay. Now, this is a picture of my kid, so you'll have to blur this out. Okay, so first one.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, Yusuf, I very smartly taken a seamless graphic in VFX fashion of an irritated-looking woman drinking coffee and perusing a menu to cover up the name of this video game. Do you know what it is? Do you remember?
The guy in the far right looks like Tom Selleck.
Kind of. Bit more Russian-looking, though, I would say.
I would have said Time Crisis, but because I can see enough of the letters, I know it isn't.
You think that character is in Time Crisis?
No, I don't, because I can see by the letters it's not Time Crisis.
Yeah.
But I can't see enough of what they are.
Do you remember the cover at least?
I don't. I
No.
don't know what to call this.
Okay. Does this bring you back any memories?
Dino Crisis.
No. It's a cell shaded game by Eidos.
What is it?
It's a game called Fear Effect.
I have no memory of this.
No?
At all. No.
It was actually a very cool game. I remember playing that. We rented it a couple of times. So there you go. Fear Effect, Yusuf.
Right. Okay.
Using motion FX technology, featuring. So I mean, it was big bucks back then. Here's another one for you.
Oh, I know this game. I can't think of the name of it. I remember it though. Use the same image to cover it up.
She'll be used every week.
Ah, I can't think of the name. I know this one though. I remember playing this
Look
one
at
as a
the
kid.
badge. Come on, that'll tell you.
I know, but I can't.
We actually had this as a demo. This came as a demo. We used to play it together. It was a couch co-op.
I remember playing it a lot, again and again.
Okay. Future Cop LAPD. Do you remember that?
What's a synonym that we could use for RoboCop? Well, it's in the future, isn't it?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Serve, protect, and I can't see the last word there. Okay.
I bet it's destroy.
Probably. Have I got anything else for you? Yeah, here we go. Now, this is Fighters Mega Mix from the Sega Saturn.
Right, okay. I thought it was going to be Virtua Fighter.
I think Akira is from Virtua Fighter.
Okay.
This is the second character called Hornet. Do you remember? Do you know who he is?
Is that from Altered Beasts?
Nope.
No? No, not Altered Beasts. What's the beat 'em up you can transform into different animals?
Oh yeah, no, it's not that game.
Fatal. No.
Something Claw or something.
Fury. Yeah,
Fury.
yeah.
Bloody Fury.
Bloody Roar.
Bloody Roar.
Bloody Roar. But no, it's not Bloody Roar.
Bloody Roar. I'm going to show you, and I thought this game was so brilliant I actually almost bought a Sega Saturn just to play it. Here we go. Hornet.
That is a transforming car.
He's not a transforming car, he is a car. Look at him there punching with his wheels. So, you know, they just do everything right, the Japanese. So that's what I have. That's my news, that's my retro rewind. Done for this week.
You said there was loads of news. We haven't done this in a couple of weeks, and you spend half the show showing me a car fighting against.
Well, there was loads of news, and there's so much news that I didn't know what to go into. So you know, I just picked 3 quick stories. We're nearly 30 minutes in now, and we haven't talked about God of War. So.
Right, should we get to God of War?
Yes.
All right, let's do it. So, God of War. This is a game that we both played and we're both sort of reviewing at the same time.
God of War Ragnarok.
Ragnarok, apologies, Ragnarok. A very much anticipated game. So, we're going to go proper spoilers for this. We're
Yes,
going to go in depth
100%
with the storyline.
We both finished it.
Yeah.
So.
This footage is all post-game, so I'm just kind of trying to show how good I thought this game looked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it looked absolutely incredible.
It was beautiful.
Yeah.
It really was.
And particularly this area, this kind of dwarven village area, I thought it was
Yeah.
just absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I wish I could have gone into more houses though, you know.
Yeah. I thought it was really good. Alright, well overall, first off, what are your general opinions of it? Did you enjoy it?
General's opinions are, yeah, it was very, very good. Exceptionally good. Not transformatively good, but it did so many things very well. A couple of things I didn't really like about it, a couple of areas I didn't really like about it, a couple of things I kind of felt like they didn't make sense.
Oh really?
Yeah, I mean, like, for example, a couple of quick examples.
Yeah.
You know when you fought Heimdall.
Yeah.
First of all, I thought he was a brilliant character when
You just want to hate him straight away.
yeah, when Artreus was climbing the wall and you see him first grab his hand with those eyes, like you're like, oh shit, who's this guy? You go to make the spear,
Yeah.
which I actually quite liked as a weapon in the end, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought it was a nice addition. And then, as Kratos is fighting him at the start, it doesn't work, and then suddenly it starts working.
It did work for me.
It didn't work at the start. He's dodging it at the start, even in the cutscenes. He's like, you thought the spear would work?
Because it's the idea of throwing the spear doesn't work. But the exploding of the spear, he doesn't know the spear can do that.
But that doesn't really make sense. If he can predict everything, you know, like...
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't... Like,
but it's like the... I can't remember what they're called. The Fates, the three characters he goes and they kind of predict the future. They're like going, we don't predict the future. We just know how things go generally and we use the past to predict it.
But he was like dodging every move from people attacking him. So I just felt like it was kind of like... They didn't really explain that too well. You know, it's like...
Yeah. Because I don't know about you, but like the first time I used the spear on him... He grabs it out of the air, and then you blow it up in his hand.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's like, "What?"
Yeah. But how does he know exactly when you're going to throw the spear as opposed to when you're going to blow it up?
Because I guess he doesn't.
Because you actually like have to stomp the spear to blow it up.
Yeah. Because I guess the idea is that he has
Stop
this sight. No, but like first off, if you're like, I don't know exactly how this site works. It is a mythical land about a man who's walking around with a decapitated head on his.
Alright, fine.
So I think the idea is his power works, but he doesn't. The magic of the constantly recreating spear. That is something that he can't perceive.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Right, whatever. The other thing I really didn't like in one part of the game was the part with Angraboda on the back of the yak.
Yes, you were
that
saying
just dragged and dragged and dragged, and I thought that they didn't really do her much justice as a character because. I mean, honestly, until the end of the game, I felt like she was going to betray me. I was like, what's her story like? You know, like, is she good? Is she bad? Is she Odin dressed up as so, like, you know, because it felt like it didn't flesh her out enough.
Before you get going to that, did you think somebody was Odin in disguise?
No,
did you
I
see the spoiler coming, the big reveal?
No, I didn't.
You didn't see it coming?
I didn't. Did you?
No, not at all.
No, it was very good.
I've watched a couple of videos now where they go back into it, and it's fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said it really quietly because I'm afraid of cursing, because I curse all the time on the show. But like, there's bits where you go and you see the prediction of the first time that actually Ragnarok's only going to destroy Odin.
Yeah.
And he's freaking out.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, what? No. And you can see he's really upset, and then he actually goes and he kills an elf.
Yeah.
And, it's the first time he's ever done that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, well, he's dragging him. He's like, this is your fault, you're meddling with these things. And he's always trying to get him not to do it. And he's always, he's like calling him like you're the champion when he gives Atreus like a bowl of food. It's just, it's so good.
Yeah. I thought that, but I mean, I'm talking about things I don't like.
Yeah, sorry.
About things that I really love then.
Yeah.
But, so I didn't like Angraboda at all. I thought it was just like really dragged, like having to go on the back of this yak and just, like, I don't know whether they're trying to build the character, but I just didn't warm at all to her, like, you know.
What about the Angraboda grandmother fight? Did you like that?
I liked that, but I thought that it was just kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, great, go on.
The other thing that and of course major spoilers is the fact that Odin, like, he's a very hard enemy to hate, right? And the thing was that, like, because first of all he looks like an old man.
Yeah.
So when you're beating him up like as the final enemy, it's like, it doesn't feel satisfying. It's like, I don't want to beat up an old man. And then, like, I kind of felt like they threw in a couple of things at the end just to make him seem more evil than he actually was. Because yes, he was evil, but like they threw in the villagers being put in front of the things.
Yeah.
He stabbed Thor, he killed Brock. It kind of like they just threw all these things in together to make him a bad enough enemy. And like, his whole motivation for doing the things that he was doing was the fact that he just really wanted the truth. He wanted to know how the universe worked and all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like, he wasn't actually intentionally wanting to kill everyone, right? And then you're kind of always filled with this stuff from Freya and stuff to say, oh, he's so bad, he's so bad. And I kind of like, but like, I don't hate him, So.
But I do think that's the thing though, is that when you meet him, he's not this super scary. He's very soft spoken. I remember seeing him for the very start of the game. I was like, that's Odin. That's really disappointing. And then you go, he's very clever. He's not this brute. He's not Darth Vader.
Yeah.
He's not even the Emperor.
Yeah.
He's like this mob boss almost, where he's very clever, he's in control, you know, he knows what story is, but it's only through everybody else going, like, because
their experience of him.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you know, they know what he's done in the past. They go like, they worked by his side. They, you know, they thought that, okay, maybe the stuff he was doing wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And then he goes and then changes, you know, what he's meant to be doing.
Well, I think there's two things there. I think the voice actor that played him did such a good job at playing someone who's pretending to be good that he did seem good. Right, and then second of all, I think you look at people like Thor's respect and reaction for him, and you're like, Thor is a monster. Like Odin must be a real monster. You know what I mean?
He's afraid
it's
of
like
him,
it's by extension, like. But so Odin was really good. But like apart from that, I loved like it's such beautiful little touches in it. Like there's a part where Odin like drinks. He takes a shot of something, alcohol, and you actually see him shiver after it. There's times where Kratos' face is like processing different emotions, and he has these little twitches of these little things. You can actually see the thoughts on his face. It was just beautifully done.
The bit when he goes in and he like, Atreus is gone, and he goes and he takes off his like all of his armor and all of his weapons, and he sits down and you just see his face, and he's just so sad. And he's just like, he doesn't know what to do, and he's like on the verge of tears. But to do that, for it to be believable, is just fantastic. It was
great. I love the father. Like I told, the father-son dynamic with Atreus and Kratos. Like you know, you can see the character development that's happened since the first game, and the fact that he doesn't condemn him when he comes back. You know what I mean? He just hugs him.
The hug, that's,
you know, like, and that's exactly what a father would do. I mean, and you can see everything in his mind is going, I want to kill him for doing this, but it's like, he doesn't need me to do that. You know, he knows what he's done. Like, you know, so it's just brilliant.
Because the whole thing is like, the first game is really tough on him because he doesn't really know what to do. But he's a kid, and he goes, he's not thinking, okay, I need to protect you because I might die. He's thinking, I just need to make sure that you're brought up. But he also hates his upbringing so much. That like, because there's this thing where in this game he says to him like, what was it like growing up as a Spartan? He's like, it's horrible. He's like, why didn't you do it? He goes, I didn't think you needed it. And it's just like, I don't want you to have experienced that life because it was horrible, and he didn't think it was for good. As tough as Kratos is, everything he's been through, he's like, he thought overall it had a negative effect on him. So he wants his son to know. And then at the end of the first God of War, the remake, and then for the start of Ragnarok, the whole thing is that he thinks he's gonna die. He's like, he now trusts Atreus because he's seen what he's done. He's seen that he has grown up. He's grown up more now, and he just goes, I just need him to be ready when I'm not here. That's what it's about. So he's not, everything about him isn't like, no, you do this because I'm telling you to do it. It's like, I need to know you're going to be okay. You know?
Absolutely. And I think that's like, you know, seeing the dynamic now with my kids and like my wife, you know, like there is a different relationship with fathers and kids than there is with like mothers and kids, you know, and there's that whole kind of thing like, crap, I'm not going to be here like in the future, you need to know how to do this, you know. And they do it really well, you know, and I love that, like, so it's and like it was, I mean, it was a beautiful game, I have to say, story wise and everything, you know. There was the elements that they went through in terms of redemption, forgiveness, you know, relationships with parents, you know, grieving. We did a really good job. I really loved it, and of course Atreus is just like one of the most annoying teenagers ever. But like, we were all annoying teenagers.
Oh know? Everybody is.
So but what the combat was great. Any other thoughts, like yourself?
I loved it. I just loved the whole game. There was just a couple of moments in it which I just thought, God, this is fantastic. I just got so excited for. So there was like the first time that Kratos is fighting the bear and then he turns into Atreus.
That was amazing.
It was incredible. When Kratos shows up, after Atreus goes away the first time, then he comes back, and then Kratos is like walking through the gate and he like backs into him. And he's like, oh God, like that was scary. And then like the fact that, what was it? He like, what's her name shows up? Freya shows up. But it's a Valkyrie first off. And the fact that it's a Valkyrie, and I'm like, oh my God, it was so early in the game, I was like, I'm not ready for this. What
did you think of the Berserkers?
What do you mean, like, what do you mean by the Berserkers? As in their place to be the Valkyries?
Yeah.
So the first time I fought one,
Yeah.
did you do all the extra stuff at the end?
Yeah.
Right. So
Nearly all of it.
Right. Okay. So the first time I came across the Berserker, I was like, oh, this is tough. This is hard, right? And then I went around, and I wasn't at the end of the game yet, but then I was at the point where you had a lot more freedom to explore, and I went and I fought some of them, and I wasn't ready for them.
Yeah.
And they were so tough.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
The first time I was against the one, right, where there was two Berserkers at the same time.
Yeah. That was like unfair.
Yeah.
There was 3 of them.
There's a bit where there's the one and there's the two.
Yeah.
Kind of like sorcerers, but the one who's like these 2 brutes.
Oh yeah.
That was ridiculously difficult.
Yeah.
That was so hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is insane. I'm never going to be able to do this. And then when I got to the end of the game, I did it actually quite easily.
Yeah.
And the very final Berserker, I really did enjoy that. I actually thought the toughest enemy was the Valkyrie Queen.
Yeah.
I found her harder.
Really?
The extra boss, the last boss.
Oh yeah.
The kind of end the game boss. After you finish the main story, you go and then you're able to fight her. I found that tougher than the others. I didn't really find the Berserkers that difficult.
No, I didn't either.
But I don't know if that's because if the game overall was easier than the first Ragnarok, or if I just knew how to play it better because I played it and I'd done all the stuff in the first one, so I don't know if I knew exactly what I was doing. Because I recognized I was like, okay, I know I need to use my shield tap here. I need to knock them out of this here with my axe by throwing it here. You know, I don't know if I knew that stuff better. But I guess I could have done a harder difficulty if I wanted to be tougher. But I thought they were really good. I really loved it. But it's also it's the first time I was saying earlier, the first time that Freya comes down and I don't know it's Freya and the Valkyrie. I'm like, I'm not ready for this. This is too early in the game. I can't find it. And I'm doing it's like so exciting. And then it turns out it is Freya. And I'm like, oh my god, Freya is here and she's gonna kill him. And then when Atreus turns into the bear, then
it was great.
And then Kratos just tackles him.
And
he's like, no, don't do it. And you're like, oh my god. And then I know what you mean. The Agrabah section was a little bit long, a little bit slow, but I guess it is just a whole. Here is, because there are no other giants. You know, so he's going, here is such an important part of the story going to go throughout the entire game. This is the only person who can tell you. This is the only time she can tell you. She needs to be in this area where it's safe, away locked and everything else. So you get that. But the end of that, where she's running along in the yak, and then Atreus turns into the dog or the wolf, and he's sprinting along. That was so beautiful. It was so exciting.
It was really nice.
The bit where like Mimir is like really early on in the game, excuse me, where Mimir is going to like the giant like whale, the fish thing. And it's so sad, and the way he just doesn't understand it. And like, and Kratos is angry at him and what he's done. Just the idea that he would like tie something up because he's like, I've been chained. You know, I know what this is like, and that's a hurtful thing to do. And that he wants it to go, but the thing is, it doesn't go. And this game, it doesn't just give you everything as a happy ending all the time. Like the fact like Sindri just is never the same again.
Yeah, how did you find that? I mean, I kind of found that it was a little bit out of character for him to be so bitter. I mean, I understand Brock died. And like he's his brother. But like it kind of seemed like he's just absolutely broken, you know, and like he's such a nice guy, you know. It kind of seemed like it was, and he'd already whatever resurrected him. You know what I mean?
But surely that shows that his brother died the first time and he couldn't cope with it. That he isolated himself from all of his people. Now is completely on his own. In order just to get his brother back. Like that's how much he wasn't ready for this. And then he just feels like, honestly, they do take a lot from him.
They do. They do. Yeah.
Like, but the fact that like that's it. He's never okay again. Like he was just, you know, because he's not going to go, oh look, maybe things will be okay in the future, you know. But there were so many moments in it where I loved it. I thought it was so exciting. The only thing I didn't like in it was when you're fighting the big wolf. I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't know what to do because Atreus is like, oh, maybe there's going to be a way. And the thing is, there is a way eventually, but you need to fight him there, and I didn't want to. And I was just like, oh no, I don't know what to do here, and I felt so sad.
When I killed him, and you could see the kind of glint in his eye, I was kind of like, do I have to actually do something else here? You know, not knowing that he would come back. But I didn't want to fight him, but I was kind of like at the same time, I was like, you know, I think Kratos gave him a line there saying that, you know, essentially it was necessary, you know, like, you can't be emotional about this. And I think like Kratos' character, like, it's great, you know, because like, he's immensely practical, and I think that in a way Atreus balances him out, but you know, when he's like, there's no intention doesn't matter, only a consequence.
Yeah.
You know, so that's how he sees the world, right? You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you intended to do the right thing. What you're left with is dealing with the consequence of that, trying to do that right thing. You know, and I think he's old enough and experienced enough to know that I'm not saying that's right, but in his life it's proved to be the case, and he's kind of this, you know, grizzled, you know, weary warrior.
Yeah, but he doesn't want to fight anymore.
Yeah,
he just doesn't want to. But the thing is, he eventually learns that his way isn't always right. Now, like, Atreus' way isn't completely different to him, because he has brought Atreus up to be, you know, to have a lot of the values which he has.
Yeah.
And he understands that. But the thing is, he realizes that actually no, like, his job isn't to come and cause Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And he realizes at the end, it's like, no, actually, the fact that you care is what's going to make the difference. That is what stops it from being a different type of Ragnarok. What did you make of I actually didn't realize until I saw a different video on it, where at the very end, where the camera swings around and Atreus is holding Odin, and in his arms, like, after you fought him, that was the future that was foretold.
Oh.
It's not his father, it's the All-Father.
That's really good. I didn't realise that. Okay.
The bald character with the beard. So the thing wasn't a lie.
That's done very well.
Yeah. That there wasn't these two different you know, it's like, oh, why was this fortune true and this one wasn't? So no, actually they were both true.
Yeah.
And then at the very end, when it's like that Kratos is going to eventually become the new All-Father, essentially.
Yeah.
That he's going to be, and then, like, he's like shocked and, you know, emotional about it.
Yeah.
I love that.
It was great. I love at the end when you're walking then through and seeing all the people that you know after the battle. But I think, like, what did you think of the giant fire guy? It's kind of like it was just thrown in there, and it didn't really, like, he never combined with the ice. You know, it's like, what? It's like,
I think what they were doing there is they were trying to stay truthful to Norse mythology.
Really?
Yeah, because that is the thing from you saw the Thor Ragnarok, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember the giant fire guy?
Yeah.
That was what that was going to be. And then the whole thing was, I think it was meant to give them a different thing of, here is your way. You can actually kind of do this. But he's like, no, actually, we don't want that to happen. We don't want to kill all these people.
Yeah.
And what do you make of, like, the bar brawl?
That was pretty cool.
That was good, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it looks beautiful, like. And I loved like Mimir's banter with Brock and stuff, you know. It's just very funny. Like, it's Mimir's voice actor is fantastic.
I love it. Yeah. Overall, I really like the combat as well. And, like, what I tried to do here, where we're showing, was I tried to show the way you can be so different depending on how you set your build to be. Like, the fact that depending on which shield you have, you know, you can just, like, bash into people, or you can, like, charge up and send projectiles from it, or you can also, like,
block at the moment of impact versus just holding block.
Exactly, or like the runic abilities as well, where some, like, you can set, like, projectiles that fly around you, or you can, like, freeze time, depending on if you move at exactly the right time.
Yeah.
Like, the way, there's so many different ways to play this if you want to play it.
Yeah, the combat was great, and as I say, I think the spear was a good addition to the general balance. At the start, I didn't really like it.
I agree,
but it kind of, I warmed to it then at the end. And I really liked how, like, some enemies would get the bar of, like, ice bars and fire bars, and you'd use the weapon to break that down. That was a nice thing to throw in there.
But you didn't fight the Valkyrie Queen at the very end.
No, I didn't.
So that's a tough battle, but there's a really nice thing in that where there's two ways of when you're fighting her, right? There's the bit where she, like, lifts up a rock in the air, and you don't notice very much. There's, like, slight kind of green hue on it. It's like if you hit it with the green arrow, it'll explode and fall on her.
Right.
And there'll be, like, a bit where she's, like, charging up, like, a fire attack, and if you hit her with the purple ones, it'll burst into flames, and they're the only way to stop those attacks. You need to be so on it of, like, I need to switch, I need to use this attack for this, or
great,
you know. And then when you fight the very last Berserker King, he gets, like, an armor of ice, and then the Bifrost, and then one of, like, the fires need to use either the Leviathan axe on it, and it was just, I loved it. I loved everything about it.
And the thing is that also sometimes you find your characters give you hints on what to do in terms of, you know, what weapon to use, or, like, what arrows to use and that. So it was really well done. What do you think of the actual, like, what's not the Colosseum, the fire trial things where you had to get the sword at the end and do it in different formations and all? I thought it was a little bit, like, you know, it dragged a bit for me, like, you know.
I don't know. I quite enjoyed it. I did them as. So I like that kind of stuff. Like I love
So do
coliseums
I,
in games.
yeah.
I love the idea that. The first one I did was the toughest one.
Yeah.
Which I guess it is probably for everyone that way, where you need to fight basically the boss rush.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
you fight all the mini bosses. That one was the toughest one. Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was quite good. Yeah, a lot of experience. I can't wait until the end to do a lot of them. So by that point, maybe it's a bit easier. Because I was proper like top level or whatever max you can be. And I enjoyed it. And I loved everything about Mimir talking. I love all the stories with it. Like the bits where when like Freya decides to finally kind of be like, I'm not going to kill you.
Yeah.
I can't forgive you, but I'm not. I can't do either.
Yeah.
And then she's kind of explaining it, and then Kratos like, you don't need to explain it.
Yeah.
Just like the acting of that, everything. I loved it.
It was great.
I loved
So what do you rate it?
I gotta give it a 10.
10, really? Wow.
I loved it.
Yeah.
It was a long game. I didn't feel like I was going, this is taking too long and I'm not having fun.
Yeah.
I loved it. I would recommend anybody to play it.
Yeah, so would I.
Yeah.
So would
How
I.
about you?
I give it 9.
9, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you prefer this or the original?
At the start I preferred the original, but now I prefer this.
I prefer this, yeah.
It's there's a lot more broad range of in the combat. There's a lot broad range in terms of the character you get going with you. It felt like it was just more varied, the whole game. So yeah, I did prefer the Valkyries though as optional bosses in the first. There was something, going into a tomb and finding them. I just liked it more.
I thought they were more fun, kind of. It depends. I feel like some of the Berserkers were a bit forgetful.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if it's because I played the original one and that made me better or more awake or alert really for what I used to do.
Yeah. Fair enough.
There's actually one thing which did annoy me, and this always annoys me in games. So the whole day-night cycle thing you could do?
Yeah.
I hate in games where like you
annoying.
open up a path, because I always feel so unsure. It's like, was there just like a chest there behind him? And I platinumed it. I completed everything in the entire game.
Yeah.
When you're trying to find like some of those things, I always just find it so annoying. It's like it's up there in this corner, but the pad isn't available till you go over here and then make it nighttime. Then go over here, then make it daytime. I don't like that stuff in any game.
I don't either. Yeah. Because it was actually a very big section.
Yeah,
of
the whole extra secret bit when you fall down.
It was great.
Yeah.
But and you didn't know like what part you have to reach. So you're literally running around half the time trying to see what I missed here, what I didn't get to. But great game. Better than the first. So well done, guys.
Yeah, I loved it.
So I guess that's this episode done.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Anything else you want to say to our lovely listeners?
Play God of War Ragnarok. I highly recommend it. I think it's great. Christopher Judge's voice was fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the actor, but Mimir's voice acting is fantastic. I just want to hear him like read me stories.
I think he does a whiskey ad.
Does he?
I think so.
Ooh.
It has to be his voice. I've heard it on TV.
Oh wow, no way.
Forgive me if I'm wrong. But
I think it was a really, really good game.
Yeah.
You?
Same. Beautiful. Love the storytelling. Love the graphics. Love the facial expressions. Love the combat. Everything about it was really great. Just not 10 for me. It's too hard for me to give 10 to anything. Well, I mean,
This guy,
Final Fantasy VII Original is a 10. Super Mario 64 is a 10.
Metal Gear Solid?
Yeah, that's a 10. But not much else.
Metal Gear Solid 3?
No. 9.8. So, listen guys,
Final Fantasy 8?
No.
Really?
No.
Wow. Final Fantasy 10?
No. Hell no.
You're wrong with that game. That game's
Final
fantastic.
Fantasy 10 is like 7 out of 10.
Oh, you're wrong. And I don't even think you think that.
Okay, it's not 7 out of 10. It's 8.5 out of 10. First ever game Kiss, I believe, isn't that right?
Surely not.
I think so.
Maybe like from a like CG scene like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Anyway.
But anyway, thank you folks as always for watching and listening. We hope you liked this show, and we'll be giving you more varied videos like we got last week of Super Mario, or maybe 2 weeks ago, depending on when we put this out. So thank you. We love each and every one of you, especially you, Kratos.
And if you'd like to, you can get in contact at presstheactionbuttonShow.
Nope.
At presstheactionbuttonpod.
That's it.
At gmail.com.
And our Twitter, Yusuf?
At PTA button.
Yeah. That's it. So until next time, guys, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, bye.